Coming up on Cabela's Sporting Dog Adventures, we travel to the southern tip of land in Louisiana to hunt with the Vanishing Paradise group. We learn about land loss in the Delta and how it can be reversed. Stay tuned for a great waterfowl hunt, great dog work, and information about the conservation issue of our generation next on Cabela's Sporting Dog Adventures.
Hey, pretty mama, go and grab the scattergun. Rommel's looking like he's got one more good run. His hips are a little shaky, but his heart's still true. Oh, how that dog loves hunting with me and you. Sporting Dog Adventures, run, boy, run. Everything you need is here under the sun. Everything you need is here under the sun.
This week we start our hunt with Ryan Lambert and Steve Bender hunting ducks out of Burst, Louisiana. We're staying at Cajun Fishing Adventures, and I have my dog Rommel along for the hunt. The hunt was in early January and the birds were still migrating in. The evening we arrived at Cajun Fishing Adventures, it was in the mid-60s. The next morning for our hunt, the temperatures dropped and it was a lot like the weather in my home state of Wisconsin. We had weather in the mid-30s, a lot of wind, and a definite change. My goal for this hunt was to learn more about what I consider the conservation issue of our generation. Coastal erosion and land loss in the Delta is happening at a staggering pace. And we had a great witness in Captain Ryan Lambert who talked to us about it and explained the issue further.
Back in the early days of the flood of 27, we took the Mississippi River and we levered it off and we shut off the life-sustaining sediment and fresh water to our marshes. So saltwater comes in, saltwater intrusion comes in, starts killing all the cattails and stuff. And as the tides come and go, it just washes all the land away. Plus the land subsides as well. And we've lost 2,000 square miles, which is larger than the Grand Canyon so far. And whereas not only is there only 40 to 50% of sediment left in the river, the rest is on the other side of those locks and dams into the north. And it's a known fact that they're filling up. And when they fill up all the rivers, like the Missouri River is nothing but an unnavigable creek now. And when it gets to Lewis and Clark Reservoir and starts filling it up, you have no more flood capacity. Sooner or later, we're gonna have to send the sediment back south, but it's up to the people in the south to make way for that water to come through with diversions and things such as that, so that the fresh water can come back to the marsh. I mean, you see in this area, you can see how lush this marsh is and back over all around us, because the river still passes through this little section. It's probably one of the better sections in Louisiana still left for duck hunting.
For Rommel's first retrieve in the Delta, he's not going to be remembered as a retriever, but more as a tugboat. I had to call him back in, get the decoys off of him, and get him ready for the next retrieve. He's all screwed up.
You know, we lost 2,000 square miles of land and we lose a football field every 38 minutes. But to duck hunters, it's not so much the land we lost, we've probably lost 10,000 square miles of habitat for ducks. Now, if you lose 10,000 square miles of vegetation in Louisiana, plus the rice fields in southwest Louisiana and the ones in Texas, well, there's no more feed for them to come down and hold here anymore. They come down, they look around, they stay a couple of days, say, you know what, we'll starve if we stay here. Back up north they go, or to Nicaragua. You got that long tail.
So we ended up getting 4 birds down out of that. We got 2 picked up. We're going to get the other 2 later. Rommel went out on his first Louisiana Delta retrieve and brought back 2 decoys wrapped around him. he was wound up with decoys, so we actually brought him back in. The other dog picked the birds up, but man, this is beautiful. If you could have seen all the birds coming in, it is really something. This is the sportsman's paradise. I hope you guys enjoying this part of the show. Stay tuned for more hot flying adventures after this. Cabela's Sporting Dog Adventures is brought to you by Cabela's, Heavy Shot, High Vis, Kansas Department of Wildlife, Parks and Tourism, Big Dog Mowers, Conquest Scents, Hadel's Game Calls, Headwater Seat Covers, Liberty Safe, Mech Shooting Sports, Mobile Strong, Pheasants Forever, Real Tree Dog Food, Vanishing Paradise, Tactican, and Soggy Acres Retrievers. This canine tip is brought to you by these fine sponsors. Hey, welcome to this week's canine tip. This week we're at the Animal Clinic of Elkhorn. We're with Dr. Kristen, and we've got Rommel in. Rommel is 9.5 years old. He's getting older. So Dr. Kristen is going to explain to us what we need to do for an older dog, things that we should watch for, and things that we can do for him in the future that'll keep him hunting in the field. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good. So Rommel's turning into an old man here. We're both getting gray at the same time. And we just want to give our viewers some tips on what they can do with an older dog as far as care.
Sure. Well, as pets get older, it's very important that they have their routine annual exams. That way we can notice things like any lumps or bumps or any changes that you may not notice as a pet owner that we can pick up on. And if there's anything we can do to help, then that's where we can address it. I think also one of the things that older pets have problems with is just like us. We tend to put on some pounds as we get older. So definitely monitoring their diet so that they're not getting overweight, as that puts more strain on their heart and lungs and their organs and their joints. Some pets definitely have issues with periodontal disease, with their teeth, making sure that their teeth do not have any type of infection. His are looking pretty darn good today. Having their ears and eyes examined to see if they're having any cataracts and changes to their vision, any ear infections that could be causing some hearing loss, and just overall, good care each year to make sure that they're staying right where we need them to stay.
Now, Rommel's never had a problem with his joints, but what's something good and preventative that we can do for him?
Well, I think what we talked about before is keeping them nice and slim and trim, but another thing is trying a glucosamine conjointant supplement. That way we can kind of keep those joints nice and lubricated and help with any inflammation that they might develop later on with age.
Really appreciate you taking the time out to check Rommel out. We've got him ready for the field this year. And that's this week's canine tip. Now back to the hunt. Now we talk about how to fix things. It's not complex, but it is, because it gets political at that point. Vanishing Paradise is a campaign. It is something people can become part of and help with. And how do we do that?
Well, as Ryan was saying, this is a sportsman issue, and it's not just a sportsman issue for Louisiana. It's a sportsman issue for our friends in Saskatchewan. It's our friends in North Dakota. It's our friends up and down the flyways that can get involved to help us out. Now, obviously, we need sportsmen here in Louisiana to get involved, get engaged, find a way to help Ryan out, help the duck hunters, help the habitat. The main thing is just get involved and do something. And you can do that and start that by going to vanishingparadise.org. Left side, coming down. Shoot him.
Yeah. He was too low for you, wasn't he? Good boy here. We're out. We've got 5 birds down right now. We've got some birds working. We're doing a great hunt. Cajun Fishing Adventures. Rommel's doing some nice work. It's a lot of fun. Man, this is something that you need to try if you're a waterfowl hunter. Rommel. Rommel and Logan work great together. They honored each other on retrieves, and they both handled well. At times, we had numerous birds down, and they didn't let any get away. My day one grade for the dogs was a solid A.
Shoot him. Ah!
We're out with Ryan Lambert. He is the owner of Cajun Fishing Adventures. We got our birds from the one blinds. They're full. We ended up shooting, I believe we got about 14, so we were about 4 short. We got to go find the rest. Great hunt. Really unique thing to see down here, but it is also something that is rapidly disappearing, and it's something that we need to take action on, so we save this so that future generations can enjoy what I'm doing today. If you get a chance, check out vanishingparadise.org and learn about their mission and how you can help. It's an important mission. It's important to waterfowl, hunting, and our country. Hope you guys enjoy this part of the show. Stay tuned for more high-flying adventures. This segment of Cabela's Sporting Dog Adventures is brought to you by these fine sponsors.
And now it's time for this week's Kids Corner.
Welcome to Kids Corner. This week I'm Sean from Max Shooting Sports, and practice makes perfect.
Clayton, you're correct. Practice does make perfect. But before we get going and shooting, there's a few things we need to go over with your gun here. Looks like you have a high-vis sight on here. Why did you end up choosing green?
Because I've used this sight in the field before and it works well.
It looks like we have something else on the gun too. Can you tell me anything about that?
That's our Tacticam.
So when you miss, I can come back and show you how you missed?
Oh yeah.
So what we're gonna do next is get into a shooting position, and we're gonna have targets being thrown off our Met Clay target machine for you to practice on. So go ahead and get in your stance, feet about shoulder width apart, your sight plane, you're able to see your high-vis sight, correct?
Yep.
Perfect. Go ahead and load your gun and we'll get started. All right, Clayton, when you're ready, go ahead and mount the gun. When you're ready, go ahead and say pull.
Pull.
You shot right over the top. If you don't believe me, we can use the Tacticam and I'll show you when we get done. Make sure your head's down on the stock. Nice visual plane. Put your high vis sight right in the back of the target. Squeeze the trigger. All right, let's give her a shot. When you're ready, say pull.
Pull.
Attaboy. Good shot. Good shot. All right, Clayton, you have the easy target straightaways down. Do you want to try something a little more difficult?
Yeah.
Perfect. What I'll do is I'll adjust the machine a little bit and give you a little bit harder target to shoot at. Nice thing about the machine, there's no tools or wrenches needed. Just a quick release handle, able to adjust the machine all the way back to 70 degrees. Go ahead and lock it back in place. Ready for your next target presentation. It's going to be basically a straight up target, and since we have a little wind, it's going to want to drift. So when the target is fired up, you're going to want to shoot it when it hits its apex or highest point before the wind catches it.
Pull.
Job, good shot.
Pull.
Attaboy, just like that. A few things to remember in the off season while we practice is make sure you keep your head down, nice visual plane, make sure you see your high vis sight. We'll take a look at the footage in a little bit just to see our misses. But did you have fun today?
Yep.
Practice makes perfect in the off season.
That's this week's Kids Corner. Pull. Now back to the hunt.
Got her.
Day 2, we headed out on a different stretch of the Delta with Mike Smith of Louisiana Marsh Guide Service, Kelly Hadel of Hadel Game Calls, and Steve Bender of Vanishing Paradise.
You just didn't want Rommel to have to go very far.
That's right,
You felt
finally.
bad for making Rommel swim so far earlier.
These birds were fast. They come out of nowhere, they buzz our spread, and sometimes they didn't cooperate quite as we hoped.
Good shot. You doubled up.
I think we double teamed on that.
You guys.
High five, baby. They're coming back. They're coming back.
Rommel was all alone working in the water, and we had multiple birds down many times. He was doing a phenomenal job in the Delta. Pretty bird. And now it's time for this week's Conservation Corner, brought to you by Vanishing Paradise.
The Mississippi River Delta is home to a sportsman's paradise of hunting and fishing opportunities. But sadly, they're losing a football field's worth of land every hour. The The good news is the solutions do exist and we can restore Louisiana's coast. The state of Louisiana has a visionary 50-year plan that can stop the coastal crisis, reverse the land loss trend, and build land for the first time in decades. This coastal master plan uses the best available science and lays out a suite of restoration solutions that build and sustain coastal wetlands, including projects that use sediment from the river in strategic places to create new land. Just as many natural and man-made factors had contributed to the Delta's collapse, it will take a combination of restoration solutions to fix the Delta. Learn more about how we can rebuild the Mississippi River Delta at vanishingparadise.org/sportingdog.
Coming up on Cabela's Sporting Dog Adventures, we wrap up our hunt from the Sportsman's Paradise. We'll also give you more information on how you can help. Be sure to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter for a chance to win a puppy just like this little guy from Soggy Acres Retrievers and a bunch of other great prizes from our sponsors. This product review is brought to you by these fine sponsors. This week's product review is on Hi-Vis. They have a great line of sights for handguns and shotguns. Now, the cool part about this is I have this sight here that I actually installed. Very quick, very easy to do. One screw, you take your old sight off, and then you put this one on. Install your light pipe, and you actually have multiple colors you can choose. Or you can go to the Magna Hunter line, which is a sight that fits right in the rib of your gun. The sight itself helps because when you pull up, it keeps you from being cross-eye dominant, but also ensures that you keep your cheek down on the stock. It helps me stay on target, helps me follow my target, and ultimately take more game. Take it from me and the dogs, my shooting has improved when I started using Hi-Vis sights.
Steve, we've been an outdoor company since 1981, family owned and operated here in Louisiana, manufacturing duck calls and different types of game calls. I've grown up here in Louisiana hunting and fishing this state, spending a lot of time on the coast, and been fortunate to enjoy the resources that have been here. And I want to see them around for my kids and their kids as well. And so it's something that's very important to me, and I'm passionate about it, definitely.
Well, we really appreciate the work that you do. We appreciate the support that you've given us, and we want to work with you in the future to continue to do this work and to get out the word that this is an important place. It truly is a sportsman paradise.
Yes.
And if you want to learn more about how you can help out and how you can work with groups like Hadel Game Calls and Vanishing Paradise, go on vanishingparadise.org.
Take a mic. Got it. Nice.
Hey! Over!
The action started to really heat up. Rommel had lots of retrieves to do. We even had a couple of times where birds came in when he was out retrieving. We dropped him, he had to finish that retrieve, and then head back out for the next bird.
I thought two fell.
Nice shot. Nice shot.
Oh yeah, you got all the ducks today.
I hope that was on camera.
Woo!
For proof.
One person shooting.
Well, look, I wanted to show y'all how y'all look sometimes when y'all shoot.
We're at the end of 2 great days in the field hunting in the Delta. I can't impress upon you how important this issue is. I've been involved with the Vanishing Paradise organization for the past 5 years. I've been to Congress and lobbied them to take the BP oil spill money and put it into the restoration of the marsh. I've seen areas where there's erosion, where there's land on a GPS and it's nothing but open water, and then I've seen areas where the river has been reconnected to the wetlands and it's building new marsh. This is the conservation issue of our generation. please get involved. Go to vanishingparadise.org/sportingdog for more information. Next week on Cabela's Sporting Dog Adventures, we head to Kansas for a waterfowl hunt. Challenging weather patterns affecting the birds migrating lead to some different tactics that we take in the field. Find out how we did it next week on Cabela's Sporting Dog Adventures. Closed captioning provided by Hadel's Game Calls.
Why should you get a puppy from Soggy Acres Retrievers? Because they're great hunters in the field.
Soggy Acres puppies have great temperaments and they'll also become your best friend.
And the number one reason, they're cutie pies.
This weekend with Sean from Mex Shooting Sport.
You're all right.
Well.
All right.
Make it out of the garage.
Let's focus here.
Work it, Clay.